E ngā mana, e ngā reo, e ngā karangaranga maha, kei ngā maunga whakahi, kei ngā puna, kei ngā roto, kei ngā awa koiora, nau mai ki tēnei papahotanga o te whiringa toa o te reanga te kaumā toru Kotiro ki Wainganui a Tāmaki Makaurau me ngā puhi ahi kikorangi. Ka tahi rā te kemi whakahirahira, whakaharahara rawātu ko tēnei ko Pātara Bearman, tēnei tō mōkai, i te roanga ki o tēnei o ngā kemi, kei tōku taha, ko tōku tuakana, ora te ngā kaukihi, ngā mihi ki a koe te tuakana.
Tēnā koe Pātara, en tika tonu rā, nau mai e te iwi, kua tai atu tātou, ki te wahanga whakamutunga o te rangi nei, the big show, and the kick-off has just gone whānau. It's ngā puhi ahi versus Tāmaki Makaurau.
And Tāmaki Makaurau with a good kick-off right there, receiving the ball back. Tāmaki Makaurau has been the informed team in the under-13s grade thus far, and ngā puhi kikorangi who went down to Tāmaki Makaurau in the last game yesterday will be looking to make amends for that. The weather has changed, so hopefully the girls will be able to keep the ball in hand, and we won't see as many scrums as we did yesterday. Weather's looking good outside there at the moment.
It definitely is, and there's a different way of football that we're playing today. You know, the sun is out and the team's working hard. At the moment, we're trying to juggle 3-4 cameras because there's a whole lot going on down here, and true style to Māori Rugby League, where we're trying to do the best and bring you the best that we can for today's action, and here we are, we're back with it.
Excellent. And yes, just to add to that, whānau, last night the competition was in danger of being called off. We had a meeting with the Rotorua Council, and the Kotiro was that they wanted to cancel day 2 of this competition due to the weather and player safety. However, after about 2-hour deliberations, our main man, Mr. John Devonshire and Titia Graham, got together with the council and managed to pull off the semis and the finals for today. And of course, we're not on field 1 because field 1 is absolutely muddy right now. So our cameramen and our camera ladies and our whānau have had to juggle between, as Ora said, 3 different fields and running from one field to another to take the cameras there. So bear with us, whānau, at home. We'll try and bring you the best that we can. There's only one camera on the game at the moment.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, Tāmaki Makaurau have already got out to an early start as they scored down there in the corner conversion at the moment. And as you can see, whānau, apologies for the technical issues. You know, ko tātou te hunga Māori, he oi te nunga o enei mea, ko whakamahia ki hapanihi.
Ai, koia, ai, watashi wa no namai wa Pātara Bearman desa. Konnichiwa, te iwi.
Bonjour, yoroshiku. And there you have it, whānau, Tāmaki Makaurau. Kotiro under-13s go 4 up in the big final between Tāmaki Makaurau and ngā puhi ahi kikorangi.
Yeah, I was watching ngā puhi ahi earlier on today. They showed some really good form to make it through to the finals, and they'll be looking to back that up in this final here. But of course, this is not the start that they wanted.
Yeah. One thing that you can see there, whānau, there's only that one small little muddy patch there on the field. This field hasn't been used today, so it's been saved for the finals. So we should see some good dry weather football out there.
Kia ora. All right.
And that's a big hit.
Just so you know, whānau, we only got one camera at the moment at field 1, as the other cameras are trying to make their way there from field 3. So, yep. This is not too bad. This is better than an iPhone coverage, whānau. This is better than an iPhone. And you get commentary as well.
Tika tonu rā. But at the moment, it's all Tāmaki Makaurau at the moment. As they swing it out here to the left side, looking for the open centres. Gives a fake. Goes through the hole.
Yeah, I have to give it up to that Kotiro, even though they didn't quite go through the middle there. Very good discipline and holding the ball with 2 hands, which is something that you know, you want your players to have. Those basic little skills.
You learn the basics when you're a young fella, Rari.
Big number 14, good strong run there is Clover Roberts, who featured really, really heavily in yesterday's game as well. Did Clover Roberts? Oh, playing out the ball off the mark there.
Tāmaki Makaurau shift the ball out to the right side. They've got an overlap here if they can use the extra man. Numbers on the outside.
Oh,
unlucky.
Unlucky, spilling the ball. Had nobody in front of her as well. I think she was scoring the try in her head, thinking about some TikTok videos, my friend.
Oh, it could be that, or we're just so used to the ball not going that wide because we've been playing wet weather football.
Absolutely.
Most of it's been done up the middle, as you can see by most of the fields, that it's really up the middle where games have been played, and it's muddy patches everywhere. But with that, we'll see what ngā puhi ahi can do with the ball.
Ka pai, he no noke, he kakari e haere ake nei, kakari, no noke rānei, koia ko te kupu Māori for scrum. Me te mea no hoki ko te maka whakamua as a forward pass and a taka whakamua being a knock-on, and that's what we saw there right there, is a taka whakamua, a knock-on.
No noke, eh? Ahua riti tonu ki te noke.
Ko
When
ia.
the worms meet and they come head to head. Oh, and that's a big, strong carry there by number 11, Lausi. She played well in the semi-final.
She did, and also in yesterday's game against Tāmaki Makaurau, the only try scorer. They fought hard for it too, the big girl.
Puhi with the ball again.
Here she is again, backing up for a second run in their one set.
2 hit-ups.
Hard to believe she's only 13 years of age. She's standing at, what, 6 foot?
Oh, that's right. All these youngsters out here today, Kotiro tries to go around the outside. Well taken there by Tāmaki Makaurau. Oh, and she's forced the error as well.
Oh, yeah, she looks like she's a little bit hurt as well, the number 9 there for Ngā Puhi.
Yeah, that's Christiera Nathan. Scored a couple of tries in the semi-final. It's taken a little bit of a time just to make sure that all our tamahine and all our kōtira are all well and safe.
Ana, tikana kia mihi a ngā karikia tia e koutou i ngā pōra, kia whiti mai a tamanui te rā, ki rungi a tātou i te rangi nei. Of course, if we had the same weather as yesterday, I don't think we'd be able to bring you this whānau. So, yeah, ngā mihi kia koutou I tuku ngā whakamoemiti.
Ngā Puhi still with the ball. Oh, just strong defence from this Tāmaki side.
Yeah, well drilled, this Tāmaki side. Of course, a lot of them playing in the Nines tournament in Tāmaki Makaurau. So, they're one of the lucky teams who get to play week in and week out, these girls. So, yeah, their skills should be a little bit higher than what we've seen from some of our other teams who have a lot of players who are playing for the first time ever.
Once again, you see the skill of this Tāmaki Makaurau side, going down the outside, making quite a bit of ground.
Here we go again with Tāmaki Makaurau, number 6 right there, running it straight up the guts, Natalian Lifau, no Ngāti Kahungunu te mahine nei, also plays for Pakuranga Rugby.
Yeah. Also, she's been asked by the ref to take it back a bit. Play on the call the ref scores.
Here we go. We look at the shifter to the left-hand side now, and they do so really well, finding the number 14 on the edge there, who goes over to score. That is Clover Roberts. Once again, Ngā Puhi Te Rārawa, playing against her cousins there from Ngā Puhi. Yep, and also plays for the Mangere team up there in Tāmaki Makaurau.
Well, I guess that's the one thing with this Tāmaki Makaurau team has the slight advantage over the rest of these girls, as you see they're usually used to playing nines up there in Tāmaki Makaurau. It's a nines competition, so adding those 4 players on actually gives them more space, and they don't have to cover as much ground on defence.
That's right.
So there's a lot of hands to get through, and they're using it to their advantage, Pātara.
Absolutely, my friend. That's exactly right. Knowing how to shift it from one side to the other, and as you said, those extra players as well means that they don't have to, they're able to conserve a lot more energy by staying in their corridors and staying in their zones rather than having to chase the ball left and right from one side to the other the whole game.
Yeah, tika tonu rā. And it was just that Tāmaki Makaurau came through the semi-finals very strong and getting the win 36-0 over Raukawa ki Waikato, and then also Ngā Puhi beating out the Kirikiriroa Tigers 18-4 to secure their place in the final.
That was a good game too, that Ngā Puhi Kirikiriroa Tigers from Kirikiriroa. And big ups to all our coaches and our managers, and koutou ngā ringa rehe kei muri, ki te kore ko koutou, ka pia whiara a tātou tamariki. So yeah, thank you so much for all the hard work you've done in the last couple of weeks and months to help your tamariki get to this tournament. I know it can be taxing on the pocket every now and then, training and all of those things, so yeah.
And I think that's the beauty about our game and our tournament in general there, Pātara. It's everything you see here and what it's done from our referees down to our volunteers, everything's done through aroha, and that's how we're able to give the opportunity to our rangatahi in terms of growing the young players and growing the young minds into a sport, whether it be rugby league, wakaama, rugby, whatever it may be.
Absolutely. And talking about other sports, I mean, you've been a big advocate for the revival of Kiorahi, and I see there's a big stage show and stage play talking about the origins of Kiorahi that's been put out there. How's that growing?
That's great at the moment, you know, and I guess it's a summer sport that keeps our kids going, you know, gives them something to do, and I'll tell you what, the opportunities that our rangatai have today is 1,000 times more than what we had when we were young.
Absolutely.
You know, so to all our parents and all our volunteers out there in whatever sport or kaupapa you do for our tamariki, ngā mihi tino nui kia koutou. But back to the game, and it's, once again, Tāmaki Makaurau showing their wares up the middle of the field.
You're not afraid to throw those offloads as well, which is a feature I've seen in the Auckland grades and those nines tournament as well, and it's definitely paying dividends, as you said, here today. Tāmaki Makaurau down that right-hand edge. What a fantastic run there. Brought down by the number 1 from Ngā Puhi in the end. Could be... Oh, it is. I taka whakamua te poro. Knock on there. He no noke. He kakari rānei. He haere ake ne. However, the linesman has other ideas.
He's instructed that there was a slight rip in there, judging by the actions that he done, and we'll see what the final call is.
Oh. No, I think he just wanted to let him know that was a good call, ref. I just thought I'll bring you over here and tell you, well done.
Told him, well done. Bacon and egg pie for lunch after this, that's what he said, whānau.
All right, Ngāpuhi here with the loose head and feed. And as you can see, our big prop forward there is probably standing in stand-up. You can't see her at the moment. She'll probably be the first receiver from the scrum.
And there she is again. That's Luisi.
Oh, yes. And
she's definitely putting her hand up. You can tell she's a threat. She already draws in 6 defenders there.
Yes, absolutely. And if Ngāpuhi can read on that, they should have some numbers out wide with that many mounted players in the tackle.
Looks like she's taking a little bit of a head knock.
Ooh, look like it could be a head high there just before they lost, and it was too. I hāmene tia, Tāmaki Makaurau. I patsu te kanohi o te kohine nei. But she's not afraid. She just runs it straight up the guts.
Keep going, Jack.
Yep, that's the only way she knows. Hey,
and drawing another penalty.
From A to B. Straight line.
Straight line.
Straight line. It's the beauty of these young girls. They've got no fear, eh, Pata?
No fear at all,
no fear of size. No fear to throw the ball around. There's a number 17, Hilliard Ngawati. She's met with some strong defence.
Yeah, I'm a little bit jealous, I would say, of these young Kotiro not being afraid, because I know at this age, when I was a young 13-year-old coming against Tāmaki Makaurau and the 6-footers that they used to put out on the field, I had a little bit of reservations.
Yes, yes. And I think that's been the beautiful thing about technology, but also the opportunities. As you say, back in our time, there used to be this thing was called Aucklanditis.
Aucklanditis. It was a disease. It was a plague.
But now, you know, with the opportunities that our kids get to play, you know, a lot of these girls here from Ngāpuhi who come down from Northland, you know, play against the top from Auckland, from Waikato, Wellington, you know, and they're here. And it's a different type of game when you're playing for the mana of your people in your iwi.
Tika rawatu nei what? Oh, another strong run. This girl is really putting it on. Clover Roberts, who was definitely one of the major features in this grade throughout the course of this tournament, is Clover. I've given her the forehead, Clover, yesterday.
Descent.
Yeah, playing against her cousins. Nothing like playing against the whānau. Actually, you've done that yourself. You've played against your brother, playing for the Otomotai Eels.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great, you know. Remember all those times as a young fella, you know, you always want to give it back to your own siblings.
Yes.
Especially when they're the older ones. And it's even better when you come out on top.
Absolutely. Kei te whakarongo koe, Frank.
But here we go, Ngāpuhi. Ngāpuhi, can they get something, get going here, and then breaking out of the scrum as they take it out to the blind side. Once again, they're going back to one of these strong carriers, but you can tell Tāmaki Makaurau has definitely done their work. Their coaches told them who to look out for. All these danger people for Ngāpuhi have been shut down. As you can see, once again, 3 defenders in the tackle.
I think the coaches too might want to, for Ngāpuhi, he might want to look at having that big girl running onto the ball rather than getting it flat-footed, and so she can get some traction going. It's not her fault, actually. She wasn't expecting that ball, so yeah, let's see what they can do here in the rest of this first half, and this grand final in the under-13s Kotiro grade.
Yes, It just seems as if they need to get a little bit wider of the rugby just because they're getting caught from the markers, and the A and B defenders of Tāmaki Makaurau are doing really well on defence. As you can see, they've got the ball back. Oh, that's a good hit up there from the number 10.
Yeah, good run.
That's Suyani. Suyani from the Tāmaki Makaurau team. That's playing well there.
Oh, number 13 there with a good step. She needed to do that too. She had some players on there. Just again, once again, fun, all of you at home. I know that we have some technical difficulties here, but we're doing our best to bring you this live action. Due to the weather and other external factors, we've had to really scratch our minds and get in together to try and bring this to you. Our cameramen are running from one field to another to try and bring you this action. Normally these games will be played on field 1 here at Puketawhero Park, but if you can see what myself and Ora can see on field number 1, I didn't even think the Pōka would want to go out there and have a run around, mate.
That's right, that's right. And I think, to be fair to the Haukainga, that we need to look after our fields, as we are manuwhiri here. And so these grounds need to be used once again for the coming weekends for the Bay of Plenty competition. And, you know, we need to look after each other. With that saying, you know, whānau, if you're out there, please enjoy the live stream. You've got nothing to complain about.
Absolutely.
Because we're bringing you live football, and if you do have something to complain about, this is all run on aroha.
Yeah.
If you want to complain about something, well then, no mai, haere mai, come down, be a volunteer, or put some pūtea towards our kaupapa to make things a whole lot easier for us.
He whakaro rangatira rawatu tērā te whanaunga.
But once again, Tāmaki Makaurau still attacking this Ngāpuhi line. Ngāpuhi have been doing well in the last 10 minutes to be able to hold them out for a bit there.
Been a kapaka expert as well as we're waiting for the scrum to take place. Any haka stood out for you over the weekend?
For me, every haka stood out because how often do you get to come in as youngsters, come in and do the haka that represent your people, your iwi, and get out there and play football? You know, it's the closest thing we can get to actually doing a haka before we go to war. And you know, a lot of people talk about it in kapa haka, but we don't actually have full contact straight after that. You know, this way you get to look the opposition in the eye and say, here I am protecting my try line, my iwi, which you're coming to attack. So I'm going to do everything within my power to stop you. As in on the stage in kapa haka, you can only do that on the stage. But following the haka out there, these young girls, they're into it. They're into it, they go each other, they attack each other, they defend each other. Ngari te mutunga mai o te rā, ka hongi tahi tātou, ka tūhono tahi tātou ki roi te whakaro o te Māoritanga.
Kia ora, he tutu mai nā te hi nawa nawa, my friend. The goosebumps are going with that Kotiro right there. Fantastic. And you're absolutely right, being, well, we've both done that in the past, through the haka and staring at your opposition. There's something different about it, it just goes through the ongako.
Once again, back to the game, and it's Ngāpuhi hot on attack. Still working hard. Oh, that's a good carry and a good offload.
Oh, lucky.
Once again, just a loose carry here, lost the ball.
Oh, yes, good little fend there, thrown off her opposite. There, looks like someone in the whara te hi. I think that injury saved a knock on there from Tāmaki Makaurau.
Yes. You can see it's quite physical out there. The young girls, they're throwing their bodies into it, and you know, they're definitely representing their whānau. They know that this is a grand final at the Māori tournament.
And that'll be what we'll be doing, bringing to you for the rest of this afternoon as well, whānau. Will be all the finals of day 2 of this competition. Ki ngā kapa kaore I whakaitea ki te tākoro today. To all the other teams who unfortunately couldn't play today, we do send our commiserations to you and to your whānau. I know it takes a lot to bring you here, a lot of money as well for accommodation and kai and all of those things, and you didn't get to play today, so yeah, we do feel sorry for you as well. Hey, wai, te kau maono e o mana I tēnei wā from Tāmaki Makaurau, that is Hareata Rose Kepa.
As they spin wide, coming out to the left side, the hole opens up.
Oh, yes, huge hole there. The number... So this Kotiro can turn around. I can see who the try scorer is.
Trinity Ashby.
Trinity Ashby, ka pai Trinity Ashby. Mihi kia koe, ngā puhi, Ngāti Rahiri. Plays Elevate Netball and a national tag rep as well. And that's another game that seems to be getting a lot of traction here.
definitely you can see with it's grown within our small town of Rahui Pōkeka. First time at the Nationals there that we've gone up, and also been a part of the Oceania Cup. You know, and it's just somewhere to keep sharpening your tools, keep on learning. It's not as fast as touch, you know, so you have a bit of time to slow down, get to play the ball. There's also a kick in there, so it's a good thing for our rangatau to be a part of.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
you can see those skills coming out within this Tāmaki Makaurau team, running good lines.
And that's what I felt was really good about tag as well. It allows our prop forwards to participate, whereas the touch is a little bit too fast for our props.
Yes. You be quick in the game of touch. You know, but whereas in tag, you know, there's about a 3-second play the ball that gives you that time to set your line and move forward. But as you can see, Tāmaki Makaurau showing their wares at the moment.
Yeah, they're up, definitely up. We don't have our scores up at the moment at the whānau, but that is the first half. Done and dusted. Ka hoki mai māua ko ora me te wehenga tuarua a kota today. Thoughts on the game so far, ora?
Oh, I think at the moment, Tāmaki Makaurau is just playing to their strengths. Really, at the moment, they're just doing really well in defence, and they've been able to shut this big pack of Puhi down, and then just forcing the error, and then they're playing down in their kora. But if Puhi can get, you know, 2 quick tries back, they're back in this game.
Back on. It's back on. All right, whānau. We'll take a quick break. Thanks once again to our sponsors, One Foundation, Above Sound and Production as well, bringing you these live stream today. And also New Zealand Māori Rugby League for a fantastic tournament run by the board here at Puketawhero. Hewa, ka hoki mai a ko tatana e tiwi, mai tonu mai.
Yeah, I'm good. Oh, it's muddy apron.
Ai, nau mai hoki mai e te iwi ki tēnei te wehenga rua o te whiringa toa I wainga nui a ngā puhi ahi me Tāmaki Makaurau te reanga te kaumā tōru Kotiro. 12-0 to Tāmaki Makaurau. Ngā puhi ahi still very much in this game. 2 quick tries. As Ora said before the end of the first half, they are back in this, and no doubt their coaches will be telling them exactly what they need to do to make a comeback against this Tāmaki side who have been the front runners all through the tournament thus far.
Yeah, tika tonu rā pātara, you know, and that's all they need is a bigger lift or a big carry, get down there, you know, and one thing that we've seen that the Tāmaki Makaurau side has done really well is they defended really well and just waited for them to force the mistake, and then they've been able to capitalise with that.
Ka pai, ko maua, ko ora te ngā kaukihi. Me pātara Bearman, ngā kaipapāhoi, tēnei ki o ngā rangi, tēnā koutou, ka tahino i tūhono mai rā. Now, for those of you who don't know how the game is played, first off, there are 20-minute halves with a maximum of 22 players per side with unlimited interchange, as most of these teams would have played 4 or 5 games over the course of this weekend. So player safety is paramount, which is why we have 20-minute halves and, of course, unlimited interchange.
Yeah, tika tonu rā pātara. And within saying that 20-minute halves, you know, it's really the team that can capitalise on the opposition with the least amount of mistakes and getting the completions done. You know, if you can hold on to the ball, you go a long way to winning the game.
Ngā Puhi guilty of not being square there at the markers, but you can see that they've picked up another level already.
Yeah,
The
that's
defensive efforts have been great.
Yeah, a little bit of aggression there, and that was lacking a bit there, just due to a little bit of fatigue that Tāmaki Makaurau had knocked out of them. Let's see what Tāmaki Makaurau do with the ball. Oh, that's a good carry there from their prop.
Good carry, bringing 4, 5, 6, almost 7 players in there to try and slow her down.
Still standing at the end of that too, as they come down this right side.
Aroha mai whānau, all thanks to that little...
That's what it looks like if you're sitting in the tree,
That's
whānau.
it, my whānau.
If you can't get a seat out there in the crowd and you're sitting in the tree, that's the view that you're going to see.
That reminds me of us when we were young fellas trying to watch games at Davies Park when the Cougars used to play there.
That's right, whānau. Yes, climb up a tree and watch wherever you can get a spot.
Okay, ngā pui ahi with the poro i nai name, kei a rātou. Te kakari, tēnā noke rānei, kia a koe te tikanga ko te whea kupu ka whakamahia e koe.
Tika tonu rā, e nei kupu Māori e awhina i a tātou, mō ngā tamariki. Kaua ko te riki noi ho te kaupapa, engari ko te reo me ona tika.
Kia ora. Tikana kia mihi ta tāmātou kaumātua he mana wāka. Nōna no hoki te whakaro ki te whakamāori i ngā tūranga. Ka mutu i ngā neke hanga me ngā āhuatanga katoa te riki. Unfortunately, our kaumātua couldn't be here this year to bring you the live action, but I guarantee you he'll be there for the Tuakana tournament come Labour weekend.
Tēnā koe te koro e te Tuakana. Back to the game, ngā pui, oh, that's a good run. That's what they needed to get out of there. You know, we're just looking for a quick play the ball. If she can get up fast enough to play the ball, there she is. Once again, they're just taking it one off the ruck. I think if they can get a little bit wider there, Pātara.
Yeah, I agree.
They're just being picked off by the marker there.
Maybe have a pivot in place and just to be able to give those girls enough time to run onto the ball.
Yeah, and that's a good carry there by Nathan. And she started to come in, the number 9. There's no dummy half. Oh, and we've come in late and scooted it up. Thompson with the ball now.
Yes, Thompson. Nathan being a real famous name up there in north. Up north there, we've got a few of those living in Ahui Pōkeka.
Unlucky there. They just about made it to the kick. There might have been one of their better sets that they've done in Ngāpui, but now they've got to defend.
Well, good run there by the number 16. There. Just good stepping. And that is, of course, Hareata, Rose Kepa.
Tāmaki Makaurau bring it up to this left side. Ooh, a little bit of a high shot there from Makaurau Ngāwati.
Tika, and the referee seen it too. Hamenetia, ngā puhi ahi. Definitely not what they want to be doing right now. They want to try and keep their discipline if they can and just hold them out.
Yeah, it's these piggybacks, especially late in the tackle count. There they go. As they look towards the line and out of dummy half.
Hitting it out and too strong in the end is the number 6, Natalian Lefau, Ngāti Kahungunu, and plays for Pakuranga Rugby.
Tika tonu rā. Me te kite te nui o enei ingoa e whanaunga o Hāmoa, he Māori, he Hāmoa, he Tonga, he Rarotonga. Koira te ātāu o enei mahi. Always given the opportunity for our girls to come back and represent their Māori jersey. Very similar to Mr. Luai.
Yes.
He's over there at the Panthers, you know.
Dane Gagai.
Oh, tika tonu rā. He's made the decision to play for Samoa, but also with the opportunity to come play for the Māoris and the NRL All-Stars to represent whakapapa all around.
And that's what I love about our Indigenous players who are playing in the NRL competition these days, is they're not afraid to give up the big money, the big stage with the Kiwis or the Australian team, and to go back to their Māori, to their Pacific Nations teams to help them out as well. And we all know that if they all decided to, as Tonga did, to make their own side, they will be a force to be reckoned with.
And I think that's one thing that's definitely come into the minds of all the Kiwi players, you know, because if Samoa was to do the same thing and create, it would really only come back to our whānau, our Kiwi whānau, our Pākehā whānau, and the Māori. You know, which for me isn't a bad thing. I actually think it's a great thing, because we all know to represent your whakapapa is a huge honour.
Absolutely, absolutely. And all you need is 1 ounce of Māori blood and you are Māori.
Tika tonu rā, tautoko. And we're back with the score again, and it's Tāmaki Makaurau. They're really showing how much they want to go after this under-13s Māori Kotiro title. It's the under-16s. Under-13s, 16-0 to Tāmaki Makaurau.
Ka pai Tāmaki Makaurau.
Could you go back a bit, please? You're actually on the...
Here we go. Restarted by the number 8 from Puhi. Not a bad kick as well. One of the better kicks we've seen from our Kotiro this...
she makes a big break.
Look at this. Huge break right there. Good return of the ball. Tāmaki Makaurau with all the momentum. And here comes a Clover once again, who's been... Oh, look at that.
It's a big bump off, and she runs hard.
There's just no fear in that girl's eyes. Clover Roberts probably heads up north for holidays all the time as well. And saying, I'm going to get you, my cousin.
Oh, it's a call from the ref there. Marcus not square. Tāmaki Makaurau with the ball again. As they come forward here. And Tāmaki Makaurau have a good reputation here at our Māori tournaments. Remember when they first started back in the first tournament back there, Tāmaki Makaurau, heavy winners of many years.
Yeah. Yeah. Always going to get it. I've played a few finals against Tāmaki Makaurau. I just don't know what it is. It's just, we just couldn't get them.
Yeah, tika tonu rā, and as you can see again, once again, showing their ways, crossing the line. You know, and I think they have a metropolis of players. You know, and one thing that's definitely changing then that we've started to see now is, you know, kamihi atu ki a Raukawa ki runga, that, you know, they've put their hands up and they've come in and they've won a title. Maniapoto have played in the mini finals in the men's division, and, you know, that's a beautiful thing to see as well, you know, when whānau can, very similar to leaving Australia and go back to Samoa, to leave an Auckland side to go back and play for your small iwi or your hapu or your small town, you know, and it's even a great thing, I guess, coming from Waikato to see homegrown players going up against these Fox Memorial players and, you know, ex-Warriors and players that have played NRL, you know, and for those players to do that at a Māori tournament, to come back and play, you know, is a huge thing for us.
Tautoko ra wātu nei. And hopefully they will have a good feature of ex-NRL players, and they're playing in our Māori tournament come Labour weekend. We had Charlie Gubb last year, as you mentioned about some of those Warrior players and those top players. We had Kevin Locke come and play as well. We've got Wairangi Kopu playing in the Waikato competition as well as Tamari Martin. So to see all those players backing it up, and just what it does to our rangatahi to be able to be on the same field as them, it just makes you feel 10 feet tall.
Oh, exactly. And even more to see them playing for their iwi, you know, it fills your heart to know that, you know, even though you're a superstar in the world around rugby league, that your feet are planted fairly on the ground and into the soil of where your whenua is.
Tautoko, and to all our whānau Apanui and whānau out there thinking, well, Wairangi's from whānau Apanui. Well, hey, I whāngai tia ki rāhui pōkeka, ke mohi no mai rā koutou.
Oh, tika ngā Māori hoki tēnā te. Hey, ngā tamariki whāngai nei.
Yes, him and his younger brother, Tama Te Rerewa, been backing up for Waikato Māori now for the last couple of years.
Yeah. But how wonderful would that be for the Kopu boys to go back and to play for Te Whānau Apanui too? I don't think I've seen a Te Whānau Apanui here at a tournament yet.
No, not yet.
Yeah,
No.
You know, and that could be something that those that the Kazi could go back and start up, and I'm sure it would definitely fill their heart. I know it will fill their father's heart, you know, up there watching over them. But we're back here with Ngā Puhi and Tāmaki Makaurau, 16-0.
Kick off the go right now. Oh, good run again. Showing a bit of pace. This is the number 12, Miss Cadence Benjamin Te Rarawa. Sorry, Whānau, as we said earlier on. Unfortunately, due to the conditions and the fact that our cameramen don't have the big stands that they usually would stand on here at Field 1, due to the conditions, of course, we're doing our best we can to get you the best footage we possibly can.
But I think Ngā Puhi were lucky to escape that one.
Yeah, very much
As they
so.
come back, they've got a restart back there on the 20.
This is an opportunity for their big number 11 from Ngā Puhi to get a good run onto the ball.
That's
It looks like she's doing tapping it at this stage.
She preps herself, you know, effort on effort, these girls still trying, you know, 16-0 down, and, you know, there's a big difference because you're playing for your whānau, your iwi and your hapu. Ngā Puhi, and that's a good carry there. You know, no lack of effort here for these young girls.
Absolutely.
Still
Good
going
run from
forward.
the number 9 there.
It's Nathan. Ingoa rongonui kei te nota.
Ai. Tangata o ira amutu tēnā.
Yeah, tika. Penalty there. Now let's see what Ngā Puhi can do with the ball. Once again, no fear.
No fear.
No fear from
Just
the young
snap
girl
and
here.
go. That's just no fear. I love it. I love it.
Here we go. Thompson taking a hit up. As we set up. Loisi setting up for the next one, and she is to be expected going forward. A little bit of a bump.
Yeah.
Jaws in 4 defenders there.
You can hear there from the sideline, ngā kaitautoko telling their team to dig deep, and that's exactly what they are doing.
There was a good scoot there from the fullback. Kaho Wynyard. Goes to their half, puts a bit of a step on.
Oh, read well
Intercept
there.
from Tāmaki Makaurau.
Oh, carrying 3 of them. And finally finding her fronts. Looking for a quick play of the ball. Tāmaki deciding to come straight back down this right side again. They're seeing something there. Oh, but what a great tackle that was.
Great tackle that was.
There's your takaanga. Rutu. Rutu is the Māori word for tackle. Oh,
There's a knock on.
well done. That was from the back of their great tackle there.
Yeah, definitely, and that's exactly what they've needed. I'll tell you what, there's also, they've lifted up the intensity here, the Ngā Puhi team, you know. Once they get their wins up, and, you know, they got some good carries there, they gave away the intercept pass, but, you know, definitely with a little bit of sting in their tackle there.
Absolutely.
It caused the knock on.
And they're playing young Lisi there in stand-up again. They'll probably look to go to her.
Oh, no, the refs called it the other way.
Oh, it is the other way. Yes.
Tāmaki Makaurau with the ball.
Oh. Oh, that confused me just a little bit there, Whānau, but here, wait.
Oh, the number 14, once again.
Ah, yes, Clover Roberts.
All game.
Clover Roberts. I wouldn't be surprised if she'll be called into that tournament side. She's been outstanding this whole tournament, has been Clover Roberts. Ngā Puhi Te Rarawa represent.
Yeah, I think just with the under-13s, because there is no game for them after this. There'll be no paper team, there'll be no tournament team, but only with the under-14 boys and the under-14 girls, where they'll go later on and play against the pack. The pack with Pacifica Aotearoa, and that's with all our other island nations there. Where we've got Samoa, Tonga, the Cook Islands, you know, which has been something exciting for our people. And, you know, an interesting question, Patara. Always, my good friend Nigel Vagana always asks me, do Māori look at themselves as Pacific Islanders?
That's a very interesting kōrero, actually. I had that same conversation with my tamariki, because I do.
Yes.
I do look at myself as a Pacific Islander, o te mea no Hawaii mātou, ne? And we say that in our whai kōrero, we say that all the time. Waiki nui, Hawaii roa, Hawaii pā mau, and then somewhere along the line we forget, no, we're Māori.
Yeah.
It's like, no, hey, but the moana nui a kiwa mātou.
Tika tonu tau. But I guess the thing that doesn't make it feel like that we're on an island is because it's so bloody cold here, mate.
It is, mate.
You know,
it is. It's not like your tropical islands.
We're not in the tropics here at the moment, and I guess the mass of the North Island and the South Island, you know, within Rarotonga, you can pretty much drive around it, you know, within an hour, half an hour. You know,
had no choice but to leave in the end. Yeah.
When I got to go to Wānanga, I got to drive 6 hours. But there we have it, whānau. It's 28 points to 0. Tāmaki Makaurau over ngā Puhi. But still, for the mana of their people, you know, and the girls are still trying their best and putting the effort in.
Yeah, I always wondered that, actually, Ora, when I think about how tropical Hawaii, you know, Tahiti and all of that is. I was going, now, why did we leave and come to this cold, you know? Did we get kicked out?
No, really, it's because that's why Māori have big whānau, because it is cold.
Yeah.
They don't want to hold and snuggle too much, te iwi Māori. That's why I come from a family of 8 kids. Tēnā momo āhua. Well, Tāmaki Makaurau with the ball once again as they go down and bring it down the right side, going forward. And they continue to go down this right edge.
Yeah, they're liking this right side, aren't they?
And she's just short there. Once again, we've got the tree view.
Ana, ko tāne mahuta tēnā, ko tāi mai, ki te tautoko I ngā tamāhine nei. Ngā uri o hine tītama. Hine ahu one. Hine nui te pō.
Tika tonu rā. Hine te iwa. Hey, koe nei ngā ingo ngā mana wahine. And that's all the energy, ihi and wana that these girls call upon while they're out there. Don't forget, whānau, you want to keep an eye on these younger grades because, you know, in the next 7 years' time, these are going to be the names that you'll be watching in the women's NRL.
Yeah, and if you follow closely from here till that time, you'll actually be able to see the progress that these girls make year in, year out, and their skills developing along the way. And that's something that I've really enjoyed with the Kotiro Rugby League this season. It's just watching how quickly they grow. They got, as you said, I think it was you that said there's 2 things on the side of the mahunga.
Yes.
They work with the Kotiro.
They definitely do. You know, these girls have got, they're not just painted on there, they use their ears very well.
Yeah, they're like sponges out there. It's been a real pleasure being a part of the women's movement back home in Rāhui Pōkeka and again here at the Māori tournament.
Yeah, just unlucky there. She just got forced back over the line now. Ngā Puhi to take the drop out. But full credit to the Tāmaki Makaurau side. They've been all over it in attack and defence. You can definitely see that the players are well drilled in their positions.
Yes.
And that just comes with experience and playing rugby league all the time.
And here we go again, back into the action. And she's been running well all game as well. Has the number 16, Hariata Rose Kepa. Of course, that's a famous name right here in Rotorua as well, the Kepas. And in the Maniapoto territory.
There we go, as they bring it back to the right side again. She steps in.
Yeah, did well. Did well to keep herself in and gets the ball down. And yes, AJ Stowers, Ngāti Kahu Tau Pauri, Elevate Nepo and a national tag rep as well. And Stowers a very big name in Auckland Rugby League.
Joshua Stowers, when we were coming through the young grades, he was playing in the hooking role there. And also the Kiwi number 9. Played for Mangere East. They played against them a couple of times.
Yes, he was an awesome player. Still doing the catch up with him on Facebook every now and then. He's still right into the whole whakapakari tinana of late. He put on a bit of weight there, but he's decided to get back into the gym, and for him and his whānau. Diabetes was a bit of a scare there as well, which is something that plagues us Māori, so kia kaha tātou. Ki te taki i ngā tinana, haere ki te rata. That's one thing that we do really, really bad, is we procrastinate e hoa.
Ai, tautoko. Supposed to go in for a hip operation, too busy whānau, we've got kapaka and other things to do. 2 years later, still haven't gone in.
And he's not lying too, whānau. This guy right here, he loves the kaupapa so much that he'll put his body last to make sure that the kaupapa goes ahead. E tika ka mihi a koe, ora engari, ka mohio mai koe, we want you here for another 20, 30 odd years, mate, 40 odd years. So look after the tinana, my friend.
Well, that's all right, as long as the hinengaro and then the mind is still there, whānau. Pai noi ho.
Oh, too reiti for the hinengaro, I think, my mother.
Koera te atau o te Māori, kāre paku mo te katakata, koera te timia me whakakinga i te ao. And there we have it, whānau. We've come to the end of the game. Ngā Puhi ahi, Tāmaki Makaurau, too strong, 32 points to 0.
Ka pai, and that'll be us, mine and Ora. We'll sub out for our next commentary team to come in to bring you the next grand final. He oi, e tika ana Tāmaki Makaurau me. Huro ka tika ko koutou a runga, ko koutou te toa, mo rua mano rua te kaumātahi ki te reanga te kaumātoru Kotiro. Ngā mihi Tāmaki Makaurau. He oi, hoki mai anō e te iwi ki te papahotanga o te whiringa toa e whai ake nei. Mautoni mai.
Ngā mihi.